Thursdays on MSP Waves. Get ready to post up.
Yes, once again, here we are live and direct all over the alleged globe here on MSPWaves.com. And we got the good start from the Ron Don. Oh, that kind of rhymed. I didn't mean to do that. Maybe I did mean to do that. What's up, Solo Miner? What's going on, buddy? And Gregory Patrick, I see you. It's always like romper room when I do this stuff. It's like, I have a background in radio, and uh, you don't there's always been the shout out thing. People would call back in the day, oh my god, I want to shout out Kiki and my man Ron and my man, yeah. And it's like, but here it's different because you can actually see, right? If you're on the AM FM dial, you don't necessarily see. Of course, nowadays most radio stations are on the internet, and some of them have chat rooms, actually. But here on in the world of podcasting and Discord in particular, we get to see who's here. And of course, there's probably people listening on the website because, as you well know, if you're not joining us via Discord, that's perfectly fine. You can always listen through mspwaves.com. And I believe we're streaming live on Vim. Rondon will correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but if you are listening and you're not in the Discord server, I urge you to come join us, because one of the awesome things about this particular live podcast is that we have a live chat that coincides with each show, not just this one, but just about every show, probably every show here on mspwaves.com. There is a live chat, simultaneous live chat, and you get to participate very often. The shows are interactive, as this one is and will be. And we'll get right into it. You are listening to Post Up. This is our second week in 2020 right here on mspwaves.com. I am your host, JP, aka the man of many names. And joining me today, once again, is my man, Rizzo. What's good? You with us?
Was Yeah, I'm with you. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Sorry about JP being long-winded and all. We're working on that, but we'll get it in check. I'm looking forward to seeing what posts are out there today. We had some technical difficulties last week, but we're getting them addressed and everything, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the show.
Yeah, I checked out the recordings from last week. There were a couple hiccups and glitches, as always is expected. It's a process, and we're chipping away at this week after week with your help, you awesome people. And this guy, what's up? I see you here. I'm gonna so those of you who have joined us, you know why you're here. Those of you listening or listening to the recordings or listening on the website, Post Up is a live curation show. What that means is that you, the audience, is invited to come and present your wonderful social media content wherever it might exist. Okay, that could be on Facebook, it could be on platforms such as Steemit or Hive, it could be Kickstarter, it could be Patreon. It could be, a tweet that you sent out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your own post. You could be promoting someone else's post. We do ask that there is no plagiarism, that there's original, meaningful content of some sort. How much content doesn't really matter. What sort of content, for the most part, doesn't matter. Bring it. We want to see it. And that having been said, the way it's going to work is I'm going to ask for a couple of things. There's an emoji that you'll find in our chat. If you can only do this if you're participating in the chat here. It's a post up emoji. It looks like that. And I do believe even if you're watching the stream, you should be able to see the chat. Although I've noticed, I'd like Rondon to address this or help me address this at some point, that the chat doesn't exactly catch up with itself. So I don't know why. Could be something I'm doing wrong. But that's the emoji. So if you want to present, drop an emoji in the chat. I may be asking the audience to DM me as well. However, because I found it to be a little bit cumbersome to try to keep up, especially when there's a large audience, which happens in the evening show. Um, but I'm gonna write down everybody's name this time. That's right, so I don't do some crazy scrolling while I'm multitasking here. And I might ask everyone to DM me and see if that works out a little better, because your Discord will show me your DMs in order of appearance, and then I can go one by one. So this morning, you don't have to DM me. I don't see a huge audience here. Uh, we're on at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's 3 p.m. Universal time. and we're on again on Thursdays in the afternoon, evening, depending what part of the world you're in, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is 11 p.m. Universal Time. And of course, those will change a little bit when daylight savings times comes around. We'll figure it out then. So we've got some emojis, and Rizzo, I think we can get started. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can get started.
Oh,
The chat's going great over here for us, I believe.
okay, good.
It's just your boss really buys shitty fucking tech, bro. Like he needs to get some better computers.
Well, I just need, you know what it is? I just need the time that's not during work hours to sit there and fiddle with everything. You know what, Rizzo? We almost forgot something. We are one of the things we're doing on this show is after each week when we do the two shows and we have all the posts curated and together, we are picking our top three to give out some cash or crypto prizes. And Rizzo, we didn't have a chance to really get together and talk before the show, but I kind of picked three that I think you might agree with because we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday. So, do you mind if I move forward with that?
Yeah, I love throwing money away. All right, who got some prizes last week?
Oh, so yeah, last week we
But
gave.
that that wasn't the post up prizes. That was the Rizzo being an asshole, trying to make up for his life prizes. I'm trying to buy my soul back.
Yeah, that was on the evening show, and I can't remember exactly. I'll have to go back and watch the recordings. But congratulations to those of you who won. So,
Solo minor. Fuck, salt and pepper,
salt and pepper.
and Rondon.
All right, and I just realized that it's actually salt and pepper. It's an A. There's an A there. I've been saying pepper all these years. So real quick, my number one, and I think you'll agree with me. And if you're watching, you'll get to see the post at home on the screen. Is um, a gentleman by the name of Root Draws who came and presented to us a Kickstarter. And I will drop that link in the chat for you guys if you didn't catch it last week. I actually would like to reach back out to Root Draws and have him come on my Sunday show over on Greenhouse Radio Online on over on the Can of Curate server because what he presented was a really interesting idea. I'd never thought of Kickstarter as sort of a platform to present content and be able to monetize the content. We usually think of it, like he said, as shilling or as like fundraising for more commercial endeavors. But what he did was really cool. He's an artist. He's a very talented artist, and I'd like to explore this a little more. So I think he definitely deserves to be curated in the top three for this week.
I fucking love that guy mainly because he started talking shit to you in the thread. Uh, he's a lot smarter than me. And I didn't really, all of this is new to me. Like, John Vibes helped me set up my first crypto wallet the other day. Like, I use Facebook and shit, and I don't really understand computers. I don't starters. I donated to a GoFundMe once, but that's what it's like to me. So I don't really understand it and all. And this guy was going off in my thread,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he liked me, hated you, hated the show. I don't really know, but it got me excited, and I'm just like, I I don't know what's going on.
Well,
Hi.
well, I did address this a little bit in my post in my pre-show post because I think he got a little upset that we cut him off, and I have to reiterate a little bit and go over this. It's only an hour show. It's a curation show. It's not a specific topic show, so we can't really allow everyone to take up too much time because we have to fit people in. The morning shows would be better for people who want to go on some rants, and I was very interested in what he had to say, and I wanted to give him more time at another show where we could really focus and do a one-on-one because the content he presented is exceptional, and the idea I love the idea. So yeah, I think he got a little upset that he got cut off, but hey, you know what? Everybody has to understand we got to make room for everybody. We got to fit all these wonderful posts in. So big up to Root Draws wherever you might be. We'll reach out to you and hopefully get you back on the air at some point.
What's his prize?
I think did we say we were doing like 50 Hive or Steam 20 and then 10 for the first, second, third? Is that what we're doing?
Um, Yeah, that checks out
All
for
right.
each show.
All right, cool. So we'll
And then naturally, I'm just gonna float some shit where I want to, because
hey, you're free
just
to you're
just just like life,
you're allowed to
this
do
is
that.
rigged.
You're allowed to do that. All right. The now I think that the second choice here is going to be once again Mr. Salt and Pepper. If you're watching on the screen, this is his post from last week. A dash of salt and pepper. They're dated. He is more or less a daily blogger. Um, very very uniform posts. Very there's a lot of content. It's good reading. It's very well done, and he's someone that I've been following for a long time, and I kind of just felt like he deserved a mention and some love. So there it is, a dash of salt and pepper. This is a contest he's running for 100 Hive.
Your computer sucks. Oh,
Wire.
did I say that out loud? I thought I muted my mic. Oh shit.
That's not my computer. It's your computer.
Well, I mean, it's your station.
Okay, whatever. All right, and last but not least, someone that MSP Waves knows and loves very much, Soundwaves Photon, with one of his well-known fractal
Dick
designs.
pics.
Fractal dicks. It may very well be. I think Soundwaves. He's not here. He'll probably be on the evening show, but I think he'll pretty much fractalize anything. So just send him a nude.
Really?
And that
That's
post
pretty
lives
cool.
on Peak D, which is an awesome DApp that works with Hive. So if you post on Peak D, it will create a post on the Hive blockchain, and you'll be paid out in Hive. And it's an awesome post. So definitely felt like he deserves some more love. And
Right.
oh, and you know what I didn't do is drop the links for Salt and Pepper into the chat for everyone. Oh, someone did. You did. Well,
Oh, I didn't do salt and pepper.
all right. Well, I got it. There you go, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen.
DMT is awesome solo miner. Fucking
Yes.
miss that shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
I got plans for the weekend. All right, so that now brings us into the live curation part of the show, and this is going to be. So this is a good example of when you will be able to come on the show and possibly get more than 5 minutes, because I see very few people here, and so we'll have time to really kind of goof off a little bit today, and this will be really fun. So let's see, we got. I know I saw an emoji from Gregory and Solo. However, this guy, you were here last week and we accidentally skipped you. So I was going to
Whoa,
make.
whoa, 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 whoa. You skipped him. You
Oh,
skipped him.
okay. Well, I always thought there was no I in team.
Oh shit. What is this banjo bot?
Banjo Bot is going to ban you. All right.
Oh.
Um, this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and drag you. Okay, this is, I believe it's the same post, because we did actually curate you. We put you in our curation from last week because we didn't mean to skip you, but you didn't get a chance to present. So if you'd like to talk with us for a few minutes about your post, please do so now.
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
We sure do.
Hey.
Welcome.
Is this that guy?
This is that guy. I'm that guy.
Bro. Oh
Thanks for
my
having
god.
me on. I'm here to promote my project to build a solar and wind farm.
Oh,
We had a pretty big week. We
Bro,
sold
that's dope.
22 tokens last week and then 95 this week. And we got a big trailer temporarily for now. He's trailing with 28K HP. So
wow. Now for the
it's
for the newcomers and people who are completely clueless, who might be coming from Facebook and Twitter and such, give us kind of a brief layman's terms what you're talking about.
Well, I've got an HE token, a Hive Engine token, and it basically represents a fundraising effort to build, like I said, a solar and wind farm. So here in the United States, if you're tied to the grid, the electric company has to buy it from you by law.
Hmm.
So every month we'd have a Hive demand, that income coming in power it up, and then hopefully maybe repeat if the project is successful.
Okay, now how long has this project been going on?
We've been alive a little over a year, maybe year and a half. It was one of the first tokens to be made when HE came out, or well, when it was Steam Engine. Because as soon as I realized we could make tokens, I'm like, yeah, this is a way I can get this done.
Okay, and how has the project been doing in terms of fundraising?
Slow but steady.
Okay.
We've got about $500. It's more about. It seems to be more about getting the word out. So I'm looking into advertising here on MSP Waves, and um, usually when I tell people about the idea, they hear it and yeah, that's a great idea. So nobody said, oh no, that's stupid, it'll never work.
Okay. Now, what's is there a
Huh.
monetary goal? What set?
Yeah, here, let me plop in the white paper because it has the whole budget and
Oh,
everything
good.
laid out in detail.
Gregory Patrick, what's Facebook? Oh, stop it.
What is
It's where
Facebook?
everyone else is except us.
I like my Facebook.
All right, so there's the white paper for the Solaritas. Did I say that right?
Solaritas.
Solaritas.
Yes,
Much better.
sol is sun, right? Air is wind,
Uh
and
huh.
then solaritas is Latin for speed.
Ah, wow. Okay, excellent. And the white paper lives on Peak D as well.
Yep.
Very
What
good.
the fuck is a white paper?
Well, usually it's it lays out the technical details of the token and how it works, but I used it more just to lay out the budget, how we're planning to issue the tokens, at what price, and then how that money would be spent over time.
Did you
Okay.
notice how I let
I,
him answer that, Rizzo?
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I. This is cool.
But
I
it's
Uh,
not. I'm not looking to be like a global energy empire. This is more of like a proof of concept. Like so, my total budget is less than half a million.
okay. Half a
Yeah, I'm
million.
talking about 8 kilowatt hour windmills on 150-foot towers, not those huge
Right.
gasoline powered things.
Right. This is a kind of wind farm like you could use for a local community, right? Something that could sustain like a village or something of that nature. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe 20 to 50 homes would be a
Okay.
reasonable goal.
So like
oh shit, that's dope.
an encampment or village would be the appropriate demographic. All right. All right. I like it. I like it. I like the project. We
Yeah.
already curated the post, so people got to see it last week. But I think maybe what we'll do is curate the white paper for you. Now, these posts are a little old and
Oh,
past.
wait, this is a new one. Don't curate the white paper. It's
Yeah.
past its
Don't.
payout.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it's past. Yeah, I was gonna say these are. I think they're both past the payout periods now. Real quick, for the
No.
audience.
No.
No, the one I shared is from
No.
Sunday.
It's not.
Oh, it is. Okay. So I just want to explain for the audience that's not familiar with getting paid out for posts, people coming from the mainstream platforms. Why we're talking about payouts is because on blockchain social media, every 7 days after you put up a post, 7 days later, the blockchain pays you out in whatever cryptocurrency coins, which equates to dollars and cents, that you accrue from getting your likes, which are called upvotes over on the blockchain social medias. So you're going to hear that term a lot on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Upvotes versus likes. It's ultimately the same thing, except upvotes makes you a couple of dollars. So thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having me on.
All right,
Hell
yeah,
yeah, man.
anytime. Come back again. We,
No.
we do this twice a day. Well,
Yeah.
twice
Well,
on Thursdays.
bro, that's actually pretty cool. Because remember that little top secret project we were talking about yesterday,
Yes,
Mister Movement 19.
I do.
Um, bro, Movement 19 found the fucking plug on solar panels.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We've been working on some off-grid, sustainable kind of lifestyles and creative endeavors. I haven't explored wind harvesting wind energy so much. It's a little bit, I think, above my budget and knowledge base, but solar. I've got a couple of years of experience with solar now, and I'm really liking it. I don't necessarily believe it's the most sustainable, but certainly better than what
Wind, well,
we've
wind is a
been.
lot better than solar, and
Maybe.
I know this. I whoa, no, no, no. I was reading about the new Tesla truck, and the solar panel will only charge you up to about 3 to 4 miles a day,
Hmm.
but the wind power, because the new Tesla truck has solar and wind add-ons, the wind power one will get you about 30 miles a day, and the
Wow.
average American only drives about 30 miles a day.
Wow. All right. There's a lot of driving here in Florida, that's for sure. All right. So the next person up, I believe. Thank you again, this guy. I'm going to bring you back into the audience, and
Yeah.
um, I believe my man Gregory Patrick had dropped an emoji, and if you didn't, you're in the room with us anyway. Good morning, sir.
He said, if the sun ain't shining, the wind is blowing. Where
So, Gregory, are you with
the
us?
fuck is where is Sir Gregory Patrick? Where is he?
He's
Oh, right here. I forgot push to talk was on. My bad. How's it going, guys?
yes, yes. Push to talk, buddy. You got to push it to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Chirp chirp.
So yeah, guys, thanks for doing the show again, man. It's been awesome, man.
Hey, thanks for being with us
Hell
again.
yeah.
Sorry about Sundays. I've been missing our Sundays a little bit, but I've been making this transition back to living off grid and solar, with solar and whatnot. So it's taken a little bit of work for me, and Sundays I've had to dedicate to like finishing building and moving. So I'll be back
So
this
weird.
Sunday.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ladies.
You're
on.
such a
Talking to yourself for 2 hours isn't as much fun. I can tell you.
No, you're right, and I'll tell everybody really quick. So Gregory Patrick, if you're not familiar, is pretty well known around these parts, and is now one of my on and off co-host on Sundays over on Greenhouse Radio Online, where we talk about a whole slew of crazy, radical, wild, fringe, conspiracy, hippie, liberal shit. Which we won't get into today, except that I'm sure Gregory has a post somewhere along those lines. So, sir, please drop it and tell us about
I might be considered hippie. I don't really know. That's
uh,
the fun part of being a libertarian, man. I got to tell you, you get to talk about, whatever side's on your mind.
I'll be the
But
judge
this
if you're a
week,
hippie.
wow, I like hippies.
I'm kidding.
Down here we have the hedgehog people, not the rattlesnake people. But I don't know. It still don't tread on me. It's just one's a little softer.
it. Right? So, go ahead. What do you got for us? Something juicy, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah. Well, no doom and gloom. I'm not trying to be that guy all the time. I actually just wanted to talk about my aquariums and my fishery. Like last week was kind of inspiring because we had all those entrepreneur networks and like crypto hustlers and stuff. And I feel like I
Oh,
should let them know.
all right. So this is one of your hobbies, yeah?
Well, it makes some money, but not enough to really. It's sort of like logging on the blockchain. I mean, if you do like 10 of these things at once, then you start making a living. But you know how it is.
All right. So fish are fun. Who else adopts and rehomes them here on Hive? So tell us a little bit about. I'm not terribly familiar with people adopting and rehoming fish. I mean, I've seen people like on Craigslist. Hey, I got this awesome fish. I need to get rid of it. But it's typically dogs and cats. So tell us how this goes down.
That's just it. You see a lot of things, state-run programs, city-run programs about dogs and cats and all things furry, but nobody really does fish. Like this, there's not really a big institution, so it's kind of like a private thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
People they got a choice. They can flush them down the toilet. They can do all sorts of horrible, inhumane things, or they can find a person like me who has a fishery, a breed fish. But this, not just an adoption program, like breeding angelfish and all these other things. So it benefits you in the long term, but in the meantime, you're just feeding them and hanging out with them. But if private people don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Yeah, yeah, this is great. I gotta be honest. Actually, I know quite a bit about you, and I don't think I was terribly. I knew you were into aquariums and fish, and raising fish, but I didn't know you did this in particular. This rehoming and adopting thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, The only thing I really don't like keeping are the reptiles, you know. So when I get a turtle or something like that, I work with the local pet stores and you know whoever else. Like I'll go to a campground if they got a lake and see if they keep turtles there. Just you know whatever it is.
Oh man, my kids are dying to have a pet chameleon. I should talk to you about this at some point.
It's all the gear is basically the same. You need your water pumps, you need your filters. They do sell separate types like that. You know, you'll go to like the section at Petco and it'll tell you it's a different kind of filter, but it's all the same. You know, so it's a really cool hobby though. You get to learn a lot about science and chemistry and physics and all
Right.
that.
Yeah,
I'm not talking
chemistry.
about it much.
Chemistry in particular got to be pretty important. The balancing the pH of the water, right?
Just remember, don't drink the fish tank cleaner. It will not help.
It doesn't cure coronavirus.
Not
Wait,
well,
isn't
it
that
does
what?
in a sense, but it takes a while, and you're going to be underground when it happens. So, no, I
Isn't
shouldn't
that
even
what?
joke like that. I shouldn't
That's
even.
what
It's funny to me, though.
JP's trying to make everyone at the office drink that.
No, no, no. That's different. That's bleach. It's a
Yeah,
little bit different. I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna press play really quick on your video here. You've got a YouTube video embedded on your post right at the top.
How's everybody doing? It's Gregory Patrick with New England's Rare Fishery. So yeah, we had an adoption this week, and it sure was a big one. This is a lot of fun. This video is going to be great. I hope you guys like it. Lots of color and lots of cool stuff going on
JP, did
around
we
here.
lose you?
But a couple
No, no,
55
no. I'm letting the audience check out the video for about 10, 20 seconds here, and it's actually buffering.
gallon reclaimed tanks. I had to do a couple of fast repairs. You probably saw me taking
Yeah, I'm
the
looking to
lime
learn
scale off of these
HTML and
the
do a
other
better
day,
job with
but
that, so I
you
can
know, I had
embed on
everything
different
set up
sites
and
on
cycled real
YouTube.
quick
But
'cause
you
I
know,
got a call
it's
saying
fun.
All right. Well, I like it. It's the video is clear. We can see and I can hear your voice. I'm not sure if the audience can hear the audio coming through, but I've muted it because we're gonna go ahead and just talk over it. But in my headphones, it sounded clear. This is a curation show, so while we're talking about the content, I want to talk about the posts as well. And I mean, you're a longtime blogger and podcaster, so you kind of know what you're doing, and it shows in your posts. This is a short one, but you've got your logos, your banners at the bottom, and yeah, and as a matter of fact, while I'm here, let's hit you with an upvote so the audience at home who is not familiar with how this works can see your vote. Your post just went from 92 cents since we started the show to $2.14.
Really
Damn.
awesome. I appreciate it. I'm gonna check out 3Speak too. I guess it's got a betting feature, I assume, because I'd love to get off YouTube 100%. I just can't stand them. You know.
Yeah, well, it's as a lot of us have this love-hate relationship with social media, particularly platforms like YouTube, because the service they provide is so awesome. We've come to love it and really utilize it, and I mean, especially you and I both. I know you're a father, and so am I. And YouTube has come in handy for my children's education many, many times, and probably will for years to come. I would love to move them to other platforms such as 3Speak and DTube and BitChute and all these other platforms. I just don't think the content is quite there yet. You have to pick and choose a little bit more.
Definitely at a different level. I think there's some great stuff. It's hard to find things compared to YouTube, though. And
Right.
like Reader Rabbit and all these other homeschool lessons on YouTube. So I've definitely it happened. I don't want to talk too much shit about them. I guess it is it's one of those things. Like you said, love hate.
Yeah, well, YouTube, as we know, got bought out by Google many years ago. It was independent in its beginning stages, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so good and so bad at the same time. Being owned by a centralized organization such as Google, where it's subject to censorship, that's the bad aspect of it. However, being one of the greatest databases in the world, maybe the greatest, there's a lot of benefits. So you know, you
Kind of
take.
like what I was saying about Facebook. I joke around, but I get the point. I get it. Maybe it's not for me personally, but
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not trying to give anybody a hard time, but you guys are great.
Damn.
I don't
It jumped up.
without the show, posts like that would have made even a couple of bucks. So I mean, I'm telling you, it's getting up there. That's really cool. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at $3.33.
Really?
I don't know how big this is. I mean, maybe I don't know. These videos are fun though, and if you're into aquariums and stuff like that, that you can get a lot. I have other videos to post, like how do you clean one without chemicals? You know, like
Oh,
you
that's
can do it with
interesting.
yeah, you can do it with vinegar and in this little method that I came up with, and how to repair them, how to breed angelfish, how to grow a garden in a damn aquarium if you want to. Just getting sprouts going in them. It's kind of fun because you got like I said, the equipment kind of goes it goes more ways than one. You know, the lights work for plants. You can, you know, I grow plants underwater. That's just another part of it. I don't know if you can say adopting plants though.
I just shared your post on my Facebook story, live on the air.
Mm,
Man,
wow.
well,
Wow.
you
That.
guys, if you don't do it, I don't think it'll get out there. It's kind of weird, you know, like a lot. I guess I'm not really. I don't know how to explain it. Like I kind of know a lot of people are going to see my stuff, being on the decentralized web. But it is nice if other people can get in on it and get some benefit out of it. You know, it's like sharing all this stuff. You learn it for a reason. You want to tell people. So yeah, I'm in one of those positions. You know?
Yep, yep, yep.
I had an aquarium as a kid. It was really fun.
I grew up with aquariums. My mom always had some really nice aquariums. I think they were. She mostly kept different kinds of goldfish, which I learned later on in life that they're mostly man-made. No, you know, they don't. A lot of these goldfish don't exist in the wild. I've seen some beautiful ones, and I just remember just
They're,
standing there, just staring at the bubbles in the fish for hours on end when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old. I loved it.
are you are you saying they were your biological goldfish?
You got jokes, don't you? Oh boy! All right, so Gregory, thank you so much for the awesome
Hell
content.
yeah.
Keep it coming, buddy. I'll see you Sunday over on Greenhouse Radio Online. So unless you got any other shameless plugs here, I know you got a book out and whatnot. So if you want to take another minute,
Oh,
because we have some time and we have a short audience this week. So
ooh, I
No,
like.
I think that just the encouragement of being able to share these fish posts. You know what I mean? Like I don't know who's going to see them unless you guys help a guy like me out. So I appreciate that. And I definitely like the fish that Fox Koi put in there. That's an endangered
Yeah,
species fish.
that's dope.
But anybody who wants to just learn about it or talk to me about breeding, or there's debates like people have, like glowfish are a new thing that's been biologically engineered, so we can get with it. So I'll be around.
wow. Well, now, real quick before I let you go, though, we're talking about because again we have time. Biologically engineered fish. What do you know if at all if it affect what happens if people let these biological fish go in nature? Do they survive and procreate? Is it good? Is it bad? Does it not even matter?
Well, like your longfin fish aren't going to do well in the wild. They're going to get nipped and they're not going to be able to swim, and that's cruel. So you don't want to do that.
Ah,
But it's domesticated, so they have better instincts than say a dog. But at the same time, like the glowfish were made in the lab. They did a combination of jellyfish DNA and tetras.
I heard about this.
Oh shit, you're
They're,
talking about the tetras that glow?
yeah, and they're
I
black
was
light and blue light reactive,
yes.
and they weren't made. They were initially made to do water testing because it basically is really cruel if you think about it. They take a perfectly healthy fish that they turn bright yellow, and then they put it in a dirty water to see how dirty it is, and it basically rots them. And they measure how much it rots them. So there's really a cruel thing about it.
Wow.
You go to like the local pet store, they're going to have them. Most of the time, they're adopted, selling them, and I keep them for my kids because if you want to get kids into it, you get it. It's basically like looking at a box of crayons. It's
Wow.
an amazing thing, but you can't breed them for profit because they are literally they're patented. They're a lab experiment, and it was a weird thing they did. Now at the same time, they are really cool. So I'm in the middle of those kind of debates, but I understand both sides.
It's really cool to play God. It'd probably be great to watch them on acid.
I can't lie. I kind of like the idea of actually just getting natural tetras and breeding them together and seeing what happens and just I don't know, me and my own little Dr. Moreau here, but it's not something you can profit off of. So just to keep that in mind as you are breeding fish.
Well, that's a good movie I haven't seen in a while. All right, well, thank you so much, Gregory Patrick. We're gonna move on. We do have another someone waiting to go. So thanks again, and we'll see you Sunday on Greenhouse Radio.
See you then, bud. Thanks again.
All right.
I
All right,
like that guy.
Rizzo, I think
He's cool.
you're gonna get excited. He is cool. You like him. You got to check out his book. Matter of fact, so the audience knows, Gregory Patrick is a published author. You can find him on Amazon, and so is Rizzo, aka Recovery Inc. We
I
got
wrote
him.
a children's book that has drugs in it. Hell yeah.
It doesn't have drugs in it. It's a children's
Oh,
book about about children of parents who are drug addict alcoholics and the things they may experience, and it's a very well done, very pleasant book to read. It made my wife cry because she grew up with addiction running rampant in her family, and so
it,
great job.
yeah, man. It was so. I'm sure if you've read any of my shit, you know I'm dyslexic and like spelling and grammar is not my forte. Why would it be? And so when John Vibes came out with his book, what is it? Blue Stars, Paper Squares? Is
No,
that what it's called?
it's paper squares and purple stars, and I'm in this book. It's a really good book.
Yeah. And so I started working on kind of like my version of those events and everything. And JP or Movement 19 was helping me with it. I actually flew some people down here to Florida, blah, 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 interviewing. But then my godson came down around Christmas time this year. And, he's a little bit older and everything. But when I left Baltimore and came to Florida, and JP, you remember my godson, like living at that crack house with me.
Oh man, I actually got to see that one day, and it was quite disturbing.
Yeah. Um, Now, like the fucked up thing is me strung out my addiction. I was the one looking out for the kids, and the parents weren't. And when I left Baltimore, everything really fucking fell apart. Um, so pretty much, he's down here with me in Florida. I gave him the best Christmas he ever could have, and I just started realizing like he doesn't understand addiction or anything, and this has been his life the whole time. Um, and just had fucked up views of it. And so I sought out and literally was like, let me see if there's a children's book for this. And it wasn't necessarily for him, it was for his little sisters and all who are now living with his grandparents
Hmm.
or their grandparents.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a book. They had like doctors were writing books called If You Give an Ox an Oxy, which I'm reading it and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that ox overdosed. It's talking about selling oxycontin are in the street and how there's oxidope that's more powerful than oxy. It's essentially like a 5-year old how to not overdose but get better drugs cheaper. And it's
Wow.
obviously written by a doctor. And then there's other great books out there like The Sickness You Can't See, but it's written from the perspective of like a 3-year old. And
Oh.
so none of it like fucking told a story. It was just like, this is drugs, this is this is that. Well, kids don't want to fucking hear that. They want a story that teaches them a lesson in it or something they can relate to.
Right.
And so I challenged myself and I came up with this beautiful story about this girl who has a school recital and her dad happens to like to pop a few pills and shit.
Yeah. Well,
Um
there's the link in the chat for everyone on Amazon. I definitely urge you to check it out. All right, so we're gonna move forward. We do have someone else who wants to present, and I think Rizzo, I think you're gonna be really excited about this.
is
Solo.
it my mom? Is it my mom?
No, that's
I haven't
next.
talked to her in years.
That's next week. Solo Minor.
Oh. Oh,
Solo
that's
Minor
even
is
better
joining
than my
us.
mom.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Your mom's pretty cool. She
I
made
haven't talked to
you.
her in years.
She made you. Solo Minor, welcome to Post Up. And you are now in the live chat with us. Please give us a post and tell
Fuck
us what it's about.
yeah.
What's going on, JP and Rizzo? Thanks for
Yeah,
having me on Post
Oh,
Up.
oh
he
my God, it's beehives.
he has a
Yeah.
voice.
He has a voice.
Okay,
Yeah, so I just built 2 hives here. You want to open it up or you want me to just talk about it?
So,
I got it open. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Cool. So I bought these 2 hives a few months ago, and they've just been sitting in my garage. My plan is to actually get the bees next February, when it's easier to grow them or have them in a colony. Right now, it would be very hard to start them in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
But at least I'm starting my infrastructure. So I got my boxes built, and next up is to paint them and then prep the actual site where I'm going to be laying these boxes. But I'm
Wow.
making progress with my bees.
All right.
Bro, this is so cool.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I see here. So now you didn't build these boxes from scratch. You bought them?
I bought the sides, and then Brad nailed it all together with a nail gun.
Ah, okay. I see the nail gun in the pic there. They look
Yeah, so they come
very,
in pieces.
yeah, they look very well put together. Really nice wood. And now you said you have to paint them. Is there a special kind of paint you have to use because bees are going in there?
Oh, you don't paint the inside. You leave the inside bare, and
Gotcha.
then the outside you would just use like an outdoor house paint, just something that's gonna stand up against the elements, because it'll be anywhere from freezing to hundreds of degrees or 100-degree days in the
Uh-huh.
Georgia summer. So it's got to
Yeah.
take quite the beating.
Oh, you're in Georgia, not too far from us, and it is pretty damn hot in Georgia. Now, you said you have to wait till February. Why exactly, for those who know nothing about beekeeping, why is it easier to move them around in February as opposed to the summer?
Well, right now we're in something called the dearth. And the dearth is a term used by people that raise bees when everything is like out to get them. All the bugs have awoken. It's really hard to get nectar right now. It's really hard to get water right now.
Ah,
So they basically have a real uphill battle if you start them in the middle of summer, because every like hive beetle and certain kinds of mobs are already out and looking for homes. And if the homes are weak and just started, they're not going to be strong enough to fend off these things. But if I can start them in spring before everything wakes up, they'll be strong by the summer when those bugs come out.
gotcha. That's great. Yeah, I've read a lot about beekeeping. It's something I've always been very interested in. It's something I wanted to do when I lived in New York City. Actually, a lot of people keep bees on rooftops of buildings now in New York, which I found very interesting. I actually hate living in the city now, even though it's where I was born and raised. But I think that we need to have more people do things like keep bees and grow gardens to help the environment and the future of mankind. So this is really good work. Thank you so much.
Bee
No
lives
problem.
matter, man. This is
Yeah.
cool as
Yeah.
shit.
I also I raised bees before. This is just my first honeybee venture. I've been raising solitary bees for the last 2 years now. So this is my next step into my bee raising.
Okay. Okay. Now, have you harvested your own honey?
Solitary bees don't make honey.
Oh.
So yeah, they only pollinate everything. But my
Ah.
blueberry yields on all my bushes have increased probably twofold since the bees started pollinating.
Oh.
So I
Okay.
definitely get fruits of their labor, but not really honey, just increased fruit yield.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of
Oh,
that perspective in beekeeping. Of course, a lot of it has to do with pollinating. That's one of their primary objectives. But most people keep them not only because they pollinate, but because they can get honey out of them. I never thought of just having bees as pollinators to then increase your yield.
well, well, that's
Yeah.
what bees do more so than anything. Everyone
Right.
thinks honey, but they're the main fucking thing that pollinates everything.
Right. All right.
Are we just not gonna bring it up though? Like everyone's thinking it right now.
Uh oh.
Solo miner, solo miner.
Yeah.
Tell me about the murder hornets. I know you got the inside scoop on them.
I thought we skipped that episode this year.
Yeah, well,
Murder
but he
hornets.
knows why we
Those
skipped it.
giant Japanese hornets that take cicadas and eat them.
Yeah, tell me more.
Those things are crazy. I had to hit one with a shovel once, and my shovel went ding. I
Really?
couldn't believe it actually made a sound. It was so massive.
Wow. I've been stung by
Oh
hornets.
my
I don't know
god.
about murder hornets, but I got stung for the first time in my life last summer. 45 years old. I got stung for the first time, and my God, it really hurts.
Yeah, it's like a hot needle sticking you. I've been stung by one in the forest. I've also been stung by yellow jackets. I really hate yellow jackets. I wish they
I,
would go
I
extinct.
I know
Oh,
a lot. I know a lot about needles piercing my skin.
oh God. not those kind. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get any kind of rush off this. You just get pain and inflammation.
yeah, my eye was swollen because he got me in the forehead, and my eye was swollen probably for months. Honestly, my nose was runny, getting rid of all this stuff. It lasted months.
Yeah, they're nasty.
All
That's
right,
why I'm
so
gonna wear these suits.
We got some new people in the
we do. I see
chat,
that,
I think.
and so
Anti-socialist, Frank O'Merica. I like this Fox dude. He's been in there, but he's been putting in some funny pictures.
well,
and
for all you
shit.
newcomers, we've got just about 15 minutes left in the show. So if you're just joining us and you're here to present a post, please give us the post up emoji, which looks just like
Boom.
that. Oh,
Nope,
no.
that's an arm.
Ha
That's an
ha.
arm.
Ha ha. No, that one right there. Give us a post up emoji so that you can get a few minutes to present your post and get, garner some engagement. So, Solo, thanks
Real
again
quick while we wait
for being on the air with
Well,
us.
Before,
Thanks
well,
for
let's hear
having
what
me.
Solo thinks about the solar. No, not solar. The windmills.
They're awesome from what I've seen around where I live, but I think they're great where you get the constant breeze, like in the plains and other places. I think some people have concerns about them, birds being hit by them, but I don't really know how much of really that is an issue.
Yeah, I never really thought about birds. I guess those really, really big ones, like if there's flight patterns and everything, like that could get weird. But,
Hey,
hopefully.
hey, Rizzo, I know who Frank is, and I'm bringing him into the chat with us.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I'm not getting any more emojis here, and we've got some time to kill. So, oh, your mic doesn't work still? God, you're so cheap.
But Franco America,
It's Frank White, man.
the one and only.
The one and only, the artist formerly known as Frackus Grimm. Yeah, his wife won't let him use his laptop. She beats him if he tries to like use it for Discord and Hive.
Jesus Christ, my phone will not stop blowing or ringing while I'm on air, so I'm just setting everything out. But yeah, Frank White, I always hear about this guy.
All right, wait a minute. Rondon says he has a post. Ron, you wanna hop in and talk with us and drop it? All right.
Oh, bye, Solo Miner.
Yes, yes. Thank you, everyone. For your wonderful, wonderful content. With this show has just over 10 minutes left. It's post up here on mspwaves.com, live and worldwide, twice every Thursday. So we will be here again this evening. Eastern time is 7 p.m. Universal time is 11 p.m. So come join us again. We usually have a much bigger audience in the evening time, so we won't have as much time to kind of chit chat and goof off, but it'll be a good time. And so, Ron, I see you popped in. What do you got for us?
He's still muted. There he is.
Just making sure I don't blast you guys. My mic does funny things sometimes.
Yeah, he's the MSP god, so he can just mute, unmute, or do whatever he wants.
What's this
Wow.
picture about, Recovery Inc.?
I don't know. I'm just taking selfies. I thought you guys would like it.
Yeah, well,
Okay, well, I didn't know if there's any kind of I missed a couple of seconds when moving. So I heard you were speaking about John Vibes earlier,
Yeah.
and it reminded me of a post that I saw this week.
uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's some deep shit. It's some like Gregory Patrick shit, right?
Let's go. Let's do it. Bring it on.
Yeah, like he doesn't beat around the bush. He doesn't just talk about how's the weather, he talks about multiple soldiers murdered and more soldiers arrested in child trafficking stings.
Yes.
That's what he likes to talk about.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's that he likes to talk about it. I know John very well. You know this, and I wouldn't say it's that he likes it. I think it's that John is just the kind of person that really prefers to tell things like it is.
Well, that's what I
Straight
mean.
up.
He likes to strike at the root. He
Yeah.
likes to get to the he likes to be an actual journalist, which is so rare in these days.
Yes.
We don't. I got to say I've had to spend the last decade really digging through the internet to find actual journalism. And
Right.
I mean, through that decade, I found quite a few good journalists, but they're far and few between. And even when you do find some, it's like you end up finding out that, oh, okay, well, I see that he does talk about these things that are truthful, but he also stays away from these other subjects, which are more of the root cause of what's going on, and they won't even discuss it.
Right,
Like,
right. Yeah, John is an excellent journalist. He's an excellent writer. Again, I plugged his book earlier that I happen to be in, and I've done a lot of writing work with him. Him and I both write for the anonymous, one of the anonymous pages, which has 12 million followers on Facebook, and we're one of the biggest alternative media outlets. And it's been really interesting what you say about journalism, because not only is it hard to find good journalism, Ron, if you are a journalist these days, believe it or not, mainstream social media, where you're going to get the bulk of your followers, engagement, and collect ad revenue, you have to be so careful what you post, no matter how true it is. No, it's really true. Like there are topics that we know hands down it's 100% real. The documents are there. The mainstream media will cover it, but if we post it, it'll be censored. And
that's like I was watching on YouTube the other day. Somebody was talking about coronavirus, and the fact
What's
of the matter is, the fact of the matter is like he's like I don't even know what I'm allowed to say here.
Yes.
It was Tim Pool, Timcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, he was like, I don't even know what I'm allowed to say here. He talks with the YouTube partners. I mean, he's pretty big on YouTube. He's got several giant channels on there, lots and lots of views. So like, he actually has YouTube representatives that he's in contact with.
Right.
And he doesn't even like they tell him, okay, well, you just have to follow all applicable laws, and like you can't, like he's like, okay, well, in Florida, they made a law that you don't have to wear a mask. And over here in New Jersey, you have to wear a mask. And like, so like, which law do I pick and choose which laws I can talk about? Like which ones, like, and that's the thing. It's like, it's so inconsistent all over the place. And YouTube is like acting like it's a monolith. Like you can only do what the government says you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
And, but the government is like all over the place. Like, do we go to Sweden? Like where they had no lockdowns, no school closures, none of that, and they're actually doing just fine right now.
Wow.
Like, imagine that.
So real quick, I love that you brought one of John's posts, because this is a good example of one of the things we want to show here on Post Up. So getting away from talking about the content itself, John is a real working journalist who does exist. All his content exists all over the mainstream social media. He writes for a number of outlets which are distributed to millions, tens of millions of people actually. Yet he utilizes platforms such as PeakD, Hive, Steemit, these decentralized sort of underground still blockchain social media, and generates an income, or some portion of his income. And actually it's a fairly significant portion of his income, because he's one of the people who turned me on to blockchain social media. So for those of you, coming from Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that, while it is certainly possible to monetize your content on the mainstream platforms, it's much more difficult. It takes more work. It takes a lot of effort. Here is one of John's posts that right now is set to pay him just a little over $44. And that's not because anyone has to pay him out of pocket for reading the posts. As you can see, it's free for anyone to look at these posts. It's free for anyone to use these platforms, just like it's free to use Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. However, the blockchain itself generates a currency just from using it, and that currency translates to dollars and cents. And John and I and Rizzo and Rondon and probably several other people listening have actually been able to post and then go and cash out and pay a bill or buy something that we wanted or needed. And that's a true story.
Damn, it already jumped up to like 45, 50. That shit's flying.
Yeah, I actually bought this computer here off of whenever I was transferring Steam over to Hive, some of that didn't get transferred over to Hive and built this computer I'm talking to you guys on right now.
Wow, that's good.
Really?
Yeah. And so roughly, if you want to tell us how much did you spend on that computer?
$500.
There, I mean, that's a pretty significant chunk of change. I can introduce you to a lot of hardworking Americans who have a full-time 40+ hour a week job who cannot afford a $500 computer.
No,
Yeah.
why would they, man? Like that's, bro, up until recently, like I didn't even own a computer.
Yeah, well, you were
But that
also
got
a
me a
junkie living on the streets.
Yeah, true. Well, no, I had a computer then. When
True.
I was
Well,
doing all the check fraud in the back of the van.
well, stolen computers don't count, buddy.
Well, we got like 4 minutes left. I didn't know if anybody else has a post. I don't want to take up all the time. I did want to point out that post, and I did want to point out John Vibes. He's a really good
So
author on Steam, and I mean
Yeah.
he is actually probably one of the top rewarded authors on Steam. But
Yeah.
there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's there, and I think he probably deserves more than he's making actually. But you know, anyway,
So-
it's all subjective. Some other person might be like he's making too much. That's fine. But if there's anybody else out there that wants to get in here before the end of the show, we got a couple of minutes left, right?
Yeah, we got about 4 minutes left. So if anyone else wants to hop in and give us your amazing content, please do so. Otherwise, we're just gonna sit here and talk shit and ride it out.
let me
Yeah,
just
'cause-
make sure I got everyone. We got Gregory Patrick with the fish, which
Yep.
is pretty cool.
Yep.
We got Solo Miner with the fucking bees. So we got like a theme going on here. We got Rondon presenting John Vibes with like kids getting trafficked. So we broke the theme. And then we got the windmills with Solaris.
And yeah, and that was this guy. So yeah,
Define the dollar.
Yeah.
Uh,
So those are the 4 posts so far.
that's it so far. If Frank, if you're listening, I know your mic doesn't work, but if you want to drop a post for us, I know you got your daily Greenhouse Radio post. So everyone, just so you know, Greenhouse Radio Online is another station just like MSP Waves. Well, not just like, it's a little bit different. It lives on the Canna Curate server, so it's a cannabis community, global cannabis community. There's a lot of different content over there. We have shows where we talk about all kinds of socio-political topics. We talk a lot about cannabis as medicine, cannabis products, CBD, all kinds of things, and we play a lot of music, a lot of really awesome music for the head and soul. And Gregory Patrick and I have a show there every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time in Greenhouse Radio Online, where we do about an hour or two of some, as I said before, some pretty radical socio-political stuff. So join us if you can, please.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, I've been actually getting in the process of so MSP Waves has always been set out to be an open source radio station or
Oh, yeah.
broadcast network. We have a lot of tools now. Like if you see, we got all these bots and stuff that come in here, and you can do this, and you can do that, and you can do all sorts of stuff. And we're actually going to be releasing these tools. I just like the thing is there's some work that needs to be done on them. There needs to be some documentation that needs to be done on them, and then we're going to be releasing all this stuff so everybody can use it that they want to use it and pick and choose which parts they want to use. Okay, well you don't want to have a website, you don't want to have this, and you can pick and choose a lot of different stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what we're getting together. And MSP Waves is going to be hopefully empowering a lot of other people to have their own stations and get started. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a great job. I was very impressed from day one, and that's something you shared with me a while ago, Rondon, how you're looking to create MSP as a model for other people who want to kind of mimic the formula and run a very nice, tight, professional ship, as you do here on MSP Waves. And you know that I've been setting up my server modeled a lot, very much after MSP Waves. So we've only got about 10 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to Post Up right here on MSPWaves.com, live and worldwide. We'll be on again this evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. UTC. Thank you so much for joining us.
I want to see Christy Glass's art. That's all I want.